It's Tuesday, so I have the privilege to make tea for my wife, my lovely wife. And making tea will be very, very simple. This is a mini tea service. So this bankable connection will be a bankable tea connection. And this is one of my favorite things to do, is to have an actual tea service. And it's not anything formal or ritualistic. I have some cups and I have some hot water here that I've boiled. I have an electric kettle. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit of this in there. Enough for the both of us. That's probably about, since it's two of us, I did probably about a quarter cup.
And y'all, this tea is really good because it's a special blend. And you know, if my mom drinks this.
Yep, that's the one that your mom ordered.
Ibasho blend. And Ibasho blend. And she's asking for more. It has to be good because she's not even a hot tea drinker like this at all. Sweet tea all day, but hot tea hardly ever till she got this. So Ibasho blend, DIT, thebomb.com.
Yep, so what this is, I'm letting it steep. We're gonna let it steep for a few minutes. So while we're letting it steep, we usually have a conversation. Today's conversation, I'm just going to teach a little bit or talk a little bit about some of the tea philosophies, why I love tea so much. And it's not that I love tea. My son asked me this morning. He was like, so what is it about the tea? And it's not about the tea, it's the actual tea service. And there was three things I was thinking about part of the tea service.
One.
First thing would be the tea culture. I love the tea culture. And the tea culture consists of like the philosophies behind it and the conversations and the reflection time. So in my podcast, we talk about building a legacy so we can leave a legacy. We're talking about leaving a legacy, and first, before you leave a legacy, you got to build it.
Right.
And the way we build it is to actually get to know, let everybody know who you are. That's how you build your legacy. So what I have here, before we get into all of that, I have some of your favorite.
My favorite right here.
Shortbread cookies.
Shortbread cookies, baby.
Thanks to Ms. Patel.
Yep. My Christmas gift. Love it.
Usually tea is usually paired with something sweet. When we were in Japan, they had these little, it's called okashi. And they were, did it even have a taste other than just sweet? It was kind of like sugar. Like almost like soft rock candy, but it was sugar. And it was paired with that. So little aspects of these things, the yin and the yang kind of stuff. I kind of love that stuff, that, you know, the tea culture. But anyway, there are three parts of the philosophy of tea that I lean towards. I mean, you have so many different things. I got a book right here. This is Chowa, and Chowa is finding your inner strength through the Japanese concept of balance and harmony. And this one is finding balance and peace in everything that you do. This is Nagomi. So Chowa and Nagami are two different things, but it's still part of the tea culture, tea philosophies. One, I made this thing called Purposeful Pathway, and really getting to know yourself. And without getting into all of the Japanese terms and things like that, first off, I'm going to tell you what it is, but I'm really going to describe it in English terms. But Wabi Sabi was the very first part of that, and that's perfection and imperfection. Beauty in the original state, or the age of something, You know, these cups are cool and everything, but a nice old cup with definition and some history behind it. It tells a story. That's wabi-sabi, the things that you appreciate and how unique it is. I love these things because it represents the real thing, but it's not the real thing. I love it. I love it. I had fun putting it together, but the real thing is so much better than, you know, a typeset or a shadow of it or representation. Ichigo Ichie is about time, past, present, and future. If we are worried about something, it hasn't happened yet. That's a negative look onto the future.
Right.
And if we are depressed about something, that's a negative look on the past of something that did happen, and we're holding it in the present. We're all in this moment and having a sense of purpose, and which is ikigai, living out who you are called to be. I got this thing. I just got this from Hobby Lobby not about a week ago. The world needs who you are made to be, living out your purpose. So I think this has been long enough. You ready for some tea?
Ready.
All right, so I'm just sit this on here. I'm just gonna do a little bit. Give you half, and then me.
It smells so good.
I usually just take a little bit of this. And, you know, this is going to be kind of hot, so.
And sip it carefully.
It's a little bitter, but that sweetness of that cookie just takes it away. I can drink this all day.
It's perfect.
So I said all this, part of the tea service and having a tea culture and all this. You're probably wondering, well, what's the bankable connection? Because the whole show is called Bankable Connections.
Right.
So what's the bankable connection? The way it's not the tea itself. It's not tea. It's actual things that encompasses. It's the having the tea, that the tea service. And when you have a tea service, you'll find that you are really, this is my whole vision. You connecting to God. You're taking your time to reflect and build inner strength on who you are and what God is saying to you. Then, well, you're connecting with yourself. You're seeing who you are supposed to be, or who the world needs you to be, according to your own philosophy. And last of that, you connecting with others. We're connected right now. Whoever we sit down and have tea with, we're connecting with them. Friends, family, you know, just sharing a meal or anything. And it's funny, when I was thinking about it, I was like, just about every day, you have a tea service by yourself.
I do? What I do?
Communion.
Oh, I do.
You're having
Communion every day.
It might not be a tea service, but you having a drink. You're sharing a meal and a drink. You're doing it with God. You're doing it with yourself. And the other day, you had me with you. So we did it with each other. The same exact concept, the same exact principles are there. So when the bankable connection there is when you actually start to reflect on the things you do. And it says, like in the Bible, when you're doing communion, you know, as often as you do this in remembrance of me. You're reflecting on Jesus. And then you're reflecting on yourself with Jesus. You're reflecting on your relationship with God. You're reflecting on all the things that you're doing. Same happens that I'm doing with in the tea service. I'm reflecting on all the things that I'm trying to live up to be. I'm reflecting on my inner strength or trying to build that muscle. That's the real bankable connection. When you build that inner muscle. And what you say the tagline was?
Create connections, create wealth.
So if we're able to do that, if we're able to create those connections with God and create those connections with ourselves and create connections with others in the community and things like that, we do create wealth. So having a tea service, having communion, having just quality time to spend with your loved one or with yourself, that is what we're talking about today, a bankable connection. So, kanpai.
Kanpai.
And to you, kanpai, you guys have a great evening.
Have a great one, you guys.